Good afternoon, students. Welcome back to today's lesson. And today we shall study biology, nutrition, and this is Study Online Uganda. And now today this is our lesson 4, and we are on absorption of digested food. How food is digested. How the food that is digested, how is it absorbed into the bloodstream so that it can start functioning into our bodies. That is what we are going to look for today. And now, if it is your first time on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button so that you can follow me and get all the lessons that are always being uploaded. So now, today, as I have told you, we are on absorption of digested food in the body. How is food absorbed within the body? So now, this process of absorption, it is the process by which the end products of digestion enters into the bloodstream and taken to various parts of the body. So that process, whereby those end products which we looked at in our lesson 3, how they are digested and then enter into the bloodstream so that they can be taken to various parts of our bodies. That is what we call absorption, and now that is what we are going to look at today. So now, the absorption of digested food in the alimentary canal, it occurs in different sections, and this absorption, these kinds of sections, the first one is in the stomach. So there are some substances which are absorbed in the stomach, others are absorbed somewhere, as we are going to see. So now, in the stomach we have water. So these ones which are shown down, they are the ones which are absorbed in the stomach, and the first one is water, followed by alcohol, followed by common salts or mineral salts, and then lastly simple sugars, e.g. glucose. So now, for the case of these substances mentioned here, for them they are absorbed in the stomach. So when they reach in the stomach, they stop there. They don't go to the duodenum or to the ileum. So there it includes water, alcohol, common salts, and even simple sugars like glucose. So when you take alcohol, when you take too much alcohol, it will immediately be absorbed in the stomach. It won't reach in the ileum. So now, having looked at those substances which are absorbed in the stomach, we have the ones that are absorbed in the ileum. And those ones which are absorbed in the ileum, we have glucose as the first one. So glucose can be absorbed in the stomach or in the ileum. So part of it is absorbed in the stomach, and part of the other glucose is absorbed in the ileum. Then we also have amino acids. So amino acids are also absorbed in the ileum. We also have fatty acids, and as we saw, the amino acids, they are the end products of proteins. We have the fatty acids, and then you have the glycerol. But all these, they are absorbed by the process called diffusion. So diffusion, which is the movement of substances from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So for example, if you have amino acids and the amino acids is concentrated in the stomach, it is absorbed in it is absorbed to places where it is in a low concentration. Then, having looked at the ileum, then we have a note that the major functions of the ileum, those major functions of the ileum, we have absorption and completing the digestion of food substances. So the ileum performs two major functions: absorption of digested food, as we have looked at, and completing the digestion of food substrate, because in our previous lesson we saw that it is in the ileum that the most substances have the end products from, like the proteins, the amino acids, all of those ones. So now, what are some of the adaptations of the ileum to perform the function of absorption? To perform the function of absorption and completing digestion. So it has some of the adaptations that enables it to be the one to carry out the function of absorption and completing digestion of a food substrate. So now we are going to look at those adaptations and they are here. So now the first one is that it is fairly long to increase large surface area for absorption. So it is fairly long, it is long in nature, so that it can increase the surface area for absorption. It also contains enzymes for completing digestion. As we saw, there are very many enzymes in the ileum which are for completing digestion. We looked at enzymes like trypsin, which acts on the polypeptides. We looked at very many enzymes found in the ileum. It has also numerous villi which increase the surface area for absorption. So you're going to come to see what villi is. We shall see the diagram. It has a dense network of capillaries that transport away digested food. So it has a lot of capillaries, and these capillaries, their major reason for being there is to transport away digested food. It also has bacteria for absorption and transportation of fatty acids. That one works on transporting fatty acids. It is also folded in surface. As you can see from this diagram, it is folded. So it is folded in surface to increase the surface area for absorption. And it has the thin epithelium lining walls for fast diffusing of substances. So its outer layer is very thin, such that substances can easily diffuse. Also, the villi, they are subdivided into microvilli to also increase the surface area for absorption. So those are some of the adaptations of the ileum to perform those two functions of absorption and completing digestion of food substances. So now this one is the structure of the villi. So now the villus is one, then villi, that is the plural form. So this is how it is. You can see it has the blood capillaries. You can see it has very many parts. We have the capillaries. This one is the blood capillaries. We have the lymphatic vesicle. All of these ones, they are meant for transportation. So that is its function. So their parts are here. We have these parts. We have this thing that is rolling through is these ones, they are the capillaries. So now, having looked at this structure of the villus, now we are going to look at a certain process, and this process is called assimilation. So assimilation is the process of utilization of digested food. So we have seen how food is absorbed into the bloodstream. We have seen that it is absorbed through the stomach and the ileum, and we have seen the adaptations of the ileum that enables it to carry out that function. So now, for the case of assimilation, it is the utilization of digested food. The other digested food and absorbed food in the body. How is it utilized now? For example, if glucose is the end product of digestion of starch, how is glucose used so that it can produce? How is it used in our bodies? So that is what we call assimilation. That is the process by which the digested and absorbed food, they are absorbed into the body and how they are now used. So now let us look at the first substance. The first one is glucose. So now, how is glucose used? So after absorption, the glucose, it is used in cell respiration to release energy. So it is used in cell respiration to release energy. So this energy is the one that you always use, because when you are working, you have to use energy, and that energy comes from the glucose that has already been absorbed into the blood stream. Also, some are converted to glycogen and stored in the liver and muscles for future use. So some are converted to glycogen, and the glycogen there they are kept in the liver and the muscle. So there is insulin hormone which converts glucose into glycogen, because when glucose is in excess, it is converted into glycagon so that it can be used for future use. So for example, during fasting, when you are fasting and the body does not receive enough glucose, it will have to use the stored glucose in the liver so that it can continue working. And also some are converted into fats and taken to the adipose tissue under the skin. So under the skin you have the adipose tissue that stores fats, so they are converted into fats in case they are any excess. And also some are taken for synthesis, and also some are used for formation of structures. So some structures are formed out of the glucose. So those are the certain things that occurs on glucose after absorption. So when it has been absorbed, it goes into those functions. We have amino acids, and these amino acids, they are the end products of digestion of proteins, and now for them they are deaminated in the liver into carbohydrates and urea. So they are deaminated into the liver. These ones, they can't be stored much in the body, as we shall come to look at. So they are used in tissue respiration in less glucose concentration. So in case there is less glucose concentration, for them they are used in tissue respiration. And also some are used in formation of important substances, e.g. enzymes and hormones. So as you looked at that, enzymes, they are made up of proteins, and amino acids are the end product of proteins. So they are used up in formation of important substances such as the enzymes. Then they are used in formation of tissue fluids, and also others are used in formation of the cell membranes. So now we have a note that proteins are not stored in our bodies. So proteins can't be stored. Instead, they are deaminated in the liver into urea, and then they are passed out in the form of urine. So for them, they are not stored because they are toxic. So now let us come to look at the fats, the fatty acids and glycerols. What happens to these fats and the glycerols? So the first thing is that some are used in tissue respiration to provide the energy, just like the glucose you have seen. Others are stored in the adipose tissue under the skin. This one I have already seen it. And also some are used in the structure formation, such as the plasma membrane. So the plasma membrane sometimes is formed by these fatty acids, and it is also their role after the absorption. And also the vitamins, the mineral salts and water, they are less stored in our bodies. So there are three roles that are played by these fatty acids and the glycerols. But for the case of the vitamins, the mineral salts and the water, for them they are less stored in our bodies. So because of that, they are supposed to be taken on a daily basis. So the vitamins, the mineral salts and the water, for them our bodies can't store it for a long time, like for 1 week. So because of that, we need to take them on a daily basis, because our body can easily lack them. That's why we drink water daily, because our body can't store them. Okay, we are going on. So we have seen the fatty acids and the glycerols, and now here on the fatty acids we have seen their functions. So we have seen how the assimilation process occurs. There is a process that occurs on food when it is now absorbed, how it works in our bodies, and we have seen how it is absorbed. So thanks for watching, and this is our end of lesson 5. So and this is the end of our lesson 4, and now in lesson 5 we are going to look at digestion in ruminants, because the way how digestion is made is done in man, it is totally different from the way how it is made in ruminants. So we shall come to see that one in our lesson 5, and please subscribe for more videos. That will be our lesson 5. So thanks for watching and have a good day. So please, if you are new to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. We meet in our lesson 5.